Twin Towers. Both of these guys can shoot three-point shots as well. And it's going to be very, very interesting if they can get into the playoffs, which I fully expect them to do. What are your thoughts? (404-382-0338). You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Loose Neck Side says Boogie went from being interviewed by the All-Star press to being introduced as a Pelican in 30 minutes. Yeah, there's a video actually online where they were interviewing him like in the locker room post-game, and maybe it was his agent or one of the team representatives kind of like came down and whispered in his ear, and clearly it was that you've been traded, Ninja. Right. And so he was like, wow. Like, he kind of played it cool, like, wow, damn, that's the case. And then somebody asked him some questions, and then he started going on, kind of like tipping his hand that he had been traded, saying how much he loves the city of New Orleans. Very interesting video. Very interesting video from Uncle Mike. The Kings have never made the playoffs with Boogie, so what's the big deal? I guess that's a way to look at it. But it definitely seems like that they didn't get the good end of this deal. It seems like that New Orleans got the better of this deal. Like, they should have got a lot more for the premier big man in basketball. I will agree with people that say that. From Gary G. Money Joyner, RCR, the Grizz going to do a special show from Kobe's testicles. What? Oh, my man, the Grizz is in the chat room. What up, Rashad Grismore? Long time, bro. Wow. So if you're new to the show and to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, my man Rashad Grismore, a.k.a. the Grizz, did a show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network for a good period of time. Hadn't done one in a while. Life had to happen. Or life happened, and he had to handle his business, so he's busy with some other things right now. Hopefully he'll get back on SME here soon. But he's in the chat room, and he says, talking about DeMarcus Cousins, I guess, that dude ain't won shit. Yeah, he had won shit. But, I mean, that's Sacramento in general. That's Sacramento in general. Sacramento ain't never won ish. Never. The best years that they had that I can remember in my lifetime, I'm 47 years old. In my lifetime, I can't remember Sacramento ever, winning, as the Grizz put it, shit. And you remember there was this thing, remember the series that they had against the Lakers in the playoffs when Webber was there? I think Webber was there, and maybe Divac, maybe Vlade was playing there at the same time as well, where supposedly the Lakers got a couple of good calls and pulled out the series. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the closest that I can remember, the series that they had against the Lakers when everybody said that the refs, gave the damn series to the Lakers with all of the good calls that they received. That's the only time I can remember the Sacramento Kings ever being anywhere close to legitimate. There was a couple of years when Webber was there, and y'all will remember this. There was a couple of years outside of that, before that time period, and subsequently after the time period, before and after Webber, Sacramento Queens ain't never been shit. From Uncle Mike in the chat room on Spreaker.com, he says, me and the Grizz finally agree on something. Yeah. 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 And so for people that are new to the show, when you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the Grizz had a real contrarian attitude towards a lot of sports topics. But I like that. See, the Grizz is one of the free thinkers. The Grizz don't give a damn about your opinion, anybody else's opinion. Grizz had his opinion. Respect that. From Coop in the chat room on Spreaker.com says, Doug, please let me know when you completely convert to Stripe. I want to be a premium member, but I don't put my information out on non-secure sites. Okay, wait a minute. You misunderstood. Maybe this is a good little event of actions right here. For the subscriptions are already completely on Stripe. It has been from the very beginning. Right. Even including PayPal, when we were taking donations through PayPal, I mean, PayPal is safe and secure, but I'm trying to go away from PayPal because of political ties by the ownership of PayPal from some stories that I've read. You can Google it. And so that's all. But from the very beginning when we first started doing the subscriptions about a month and a half, 2 months ago, it's always been fully under Stripe, which is safe and secure. So go ahead, bro. Yeah. Yeah. The subscriptions from the very beginning have been totally, accommodated through Stripe from the very beginning, from day one. All right, so you're good to go. Very reputable company. I mean, pretty much it's PayPal and it's Stripe. And the guy that's developing the website and the subscription that developed the subscription, platform as well, is one of these computer geniuses or whatever. And so he's done this before for several different podcasts throughout the country and the world. And Stripe has been the mechanism that we take the subscriptions on from day one. Go ahead, bro. Knock yourself out. You good. Thank you. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from Gary G. Money Joyner, RCR. Grizz had a warped reality liking in purple and gold. Love as bad as Grego and his Patriots love for all things Tom Brady. What's the matter with Grizz being a Laker fan? I mean, the Lakers are good. They're all that's good in basketball. The Grizz and the Lakers are all that are good in basketball. They're struggling right now, but they will turn things around. I mean, clearly they'll turn things around. Y'all know they'll turn things around. I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen the Smush Parkers era of the world and the Kwame Browns and the Del Harris eras of the world for the Lakers, but they're the Lakers. It's going to be okay. Y'all know it's going to be okay. From Clay, Doug Hancock Davis. Doug, are we having a Stewie NCAA tournament bracket? Of course we are, sir. And I'm winning it this year. Yes, of course we are. From LL K3000 S-Wave, Cousins is an asshole, but he is a good baller. GTFOH. I agree. And I don't know anything about DeMarcus Cousins to that level. All I know is what I've seen and what I've read. And I mean, it is true from Uncle Mike and the Grizz, who are California sports supporters and followers, that he really hadn't won anything. I mean, you might as well. I don't have a problem with Sacramento making a deal for DeMarcus Cousins. It's just, Sacramento King-ish that they don't get enough for them. I don't think they got enough value for that trade. And, maybe it's hard on the open market for DeMarcus Cousins because of these stories about his personality and clashing with management and teammates or whatever, man. I don't know. But he's a great damn player. Probably the best all-around center in basketball once again. So I don't have a problem with them trading. I mean, what's the definition of insanity? I say this all the time. Doing something the same way and expecting a different outcome. All right? They haven't won much with DeMarcus Cousins, to be honest with you. They haven't won anything, to be exact. They haven't won a damn thing. So I definitely get it, and I'm trying to make a move for them. My problem is what you got in return. I don't think is enough by a long shot. Yeah. From Andre Elam, Thorny, can I send a few of my bills over to you? Where's that coming from? Thorny paying bills right now? From T-Dub, the G. or the game is changing. They need three-point shooting. I'm not sure exactly who he's talking about. For Robert One Dope Boy Slade, this wouldn't have happened if the Kings had moved to Virginia Beach. I don't even remember that. When were the Kings talking about moving to Virginia Beach? Rough Buff X Squad. I was Cleveland. I wish Cleveland would have traded for Cousins. Yeah, but what you going to give in return? I don't know. DeMarcus Cousins for Kevin Love, but that wouldn't have been enough. That's not a even trade. Maybe Kevin Love and a couple of players or whatever. I don't know. That's a lot to think about. From who do we got in the chat? From Tiffany Sports and Heels. Did you see the interview of the moment when Cousins' agent told him he was traded? Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit just now. Very interesting. He played that real cool. You can Google that, YouTube that, and see it. Dude came over and whispered to him, "That you've been traded." And DeMarcus Cousins is like, "What? Okay, yeah, that's cool." And started going on about how he liked New Orleans. Once again, he's from Mobile. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I just mentioned this last week talking about I-10 and how, the next town over from Mobile is Biloxi, I think, in Mississippi, and then this New Orleans. So not too far away from his hometown, so that should be interesting. From Terry Green in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Doug, remember Kenny Smith's show that came on last year, The Dunk King? In the finals, a guy 5'6" ran and jumped over Shaq's head, and another dude ran and jumped through a ring of fire. It was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's awesome. It says, what if they implemented something like that into the All-Star game? It will give people a chance to see people that are hungry go all in instead of feeling privileged like the NBA stars. You know what? I like that. I mean, the only thing that would add to the slam dunk contest, a viable thing, one, is I like kind of lightweight. I need to look at it a little bit more. I like the idea of bringing in street ballers, but you could keep the NBA players, kind of like the second-tier, third-tier players that perform in this slam dunk contest over the last couple of years. You can keep Glenn Robinson III and Aaron Gordon and those cats. You can keep them, but also add some intrigue to it. Add death-defying dunks. So I like the idea of having, a guy run through a ring of fire. And I like the idea. I like the idea of some knifesmen or knifesmen, whatever you call a guy that throws knife. I like the idea of a knifesman throwing switchblades at a guy as he's attempting to make a dunk. I like that. That's a good idea, Terry Green. Right. From Chuchi dunking over a pit of snakes or spikes. He says spikes. I like that. Right. Dunking over a pit of spikes or a pit of snakes. Like if you come up short, like if you get caught on the rim, your ass falling in a pit of snakes. I like that. Now you're talking. Right. You miss a dunk, that's your ass. I like it. I like it. I like it. From Sidney Jackson, Doug, this is not a circus. I mean, damn, I'm just trying to think out loud, bro. What we doing here right now is called brainstorming. I'd pay to see that. Yeah. I'd pay to see a dude risk life and limb jumping over a pit of alligators. Scorpions, beavers, right, orangutans. What movie was that? I'd buy that for $1. You better believe it. Right, you wanna make the NBA slam dunk more exciting? Add a pit of alligators or snakes or scorpions to the mix.